We're recording. You can just cut it off.
All right.
Go ahead, she's rolling.
Mr. Ulrich, what is a spongy moth?
Spongy moth, formerly known as a gypsy moth caterpillar, recently changed in Pennsylvania. We changed its name to be more politically correct. How it got its name is, it's known to come in and eat all the leaves off the trees. It might be around for a couple years, and then it kind of migrates on. The little caterpillars are actually blown by the wind. So typically they'll start somewhere, and then whichever way the prevailing wind is blowing, that's the way that the gypsy moth, or the spongy moth as we call them now, will migrate from place to place. Okay? They were first known as a problem in the 1800s. They were brought here either from Europe or Asia to see if we could get them to make silk. And they were doing experiments with them, I believe up in Massachusetts somewhere, and wouldn't you know it, a couple of them got free and went out the window. And since there are no like environmental controls in this area for the, at least at the time, they just multiplied rapidly and became invasive. Okay, so this invasive caterpillar now will, it's kind of proven that it will come in, eat all the leaves kind of off the trees, especially oak trees, which is what we're standing under right now, is this nice pin oak tree. They love them, and they'll eat all the leaves, and a good healthy tree could maybe survive maybe 1 to 2 to 3 years. But sometimes if the trees are getting older, or if it's a little susceptible to diseases, it might, in the first year, it loses all its leaves, loses its ability to make sugars through photosynthesis. If all the leaves are gone, it can't survive that very long. So, spongy moths are a real detriment to our forests. And in Pennsylvania, we have hardwoods. Pennsylvania is kind of known as the hardwood capital of the world. Williamsport was once the lumber capital of the world, so the lumber boom came through. A lot of people in Williamsport got rich off the lumber companies, the lumber barons, hence we have the Williamsport millionaires, right? So the spongy moth's kind of a big deal around here. Spongy moth doesn't really feed on any of your garden vegetables or any of our field crops. It pretty much likes leaves off trees. So we get a little concerned when they move in. Okay, so what we have right here is a spongy moth caterpillar right here on this leaf. You can kind of see it. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right there in the center of your screen. And there are literally millions and billions of these caterpillars around here right now. And they've come into like everybody's focus right now because they are biting people. They actually get on your skin, and some people, the caterpillar will actually bite and cause a rash, and it makes you itch, and it's no fun. Some people get it, some people don't. There's another one down here on this leaf. This tree is actually pretty well infested right now. It is not a good situation at all. So we are concerned that this caterpillar is going to basically come in and eventually strip all the leaves off of this tree and others like it. So we'll see what happens. You can spray for them, and as I understand it, the state of Pennsylvania is going to be spraying about 65,000 acres of forest this year. And that sounds like a lot, but they actually have about 10.3 million acres that they own, and then most of our forests are owned by private landowners. It's impossible to spray them all. Our cabin just got signed up. We're going to be spraying 40 acres in conjunction with some other neighbors and the state out in Elamsport. We are going to go to Laurel Run Hunting Club, which is the cabin I'm talking about. We're going there tomorrow for our trout release. So we're hoping to save some of those trees there because they've been affected by the gypsy moth caterpillar for the last 2 years in a row now. So it's a big problem in our area right now. People don't realize it until the trees turn brown. And then if they keep doing it a couple years in a row, they'll stay brown pretty much forever. So that's what's going on with the spongy moth caterpillar.